Most people overpay for products like this. Here's why this one is different. I've seen hand-crank generators that cost way more for features you'll never use, but this little kit actually gives you real power without the sticker shock. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I picked this up because I wanted a backup way to keep my phone charged during blackouts and camping trips. We've all been there, the power goes out, and you're scrambling to find a way to keep your devices charged. I've tried those battery packs with built-in solar panels, but let's be real, they can take forever to charge, especially on cloudy days. I've also looked into those gas-powered generators, but they're noisy, heavy, and require a lot of maintenance. That's why I was intrigued by this little hand-crank generator. At first, I thought it would be a gimmick, but after a week of testing, I'm genuinely surprised by how much juice this tiny thing puts out. It's not going to run a fridge or a large appliance, but it'll top off a power bank or keep a few LED lights going when the grid goes dark. I've used it to charge my phone, and it works like a charm. It's also great for camping trips, where you can use it to power a small lantern or a portable speaker. The possibilities are endless, and I've found it to be a really useful addition to my emergency kit. The build is simple: a sturdy plastic crank, a metal gearbox, and a DC output that can handle anywhere from 5 to 24 volts. That range means you can charge most power banks, 18,650 batteries, or even small USB devices directly. I plugged it into a cheap USB meter and spun for about 90 seconds, enough to add roughly 15% to my phone battery. Not bad for 1 minute of arm work. I've also used it to charge my wireless earbuds, and it works perfectly. The charging speed is not lightning fast, but it's definitely faster than waiting for a battery pack to charge via solar power. What I like most is how quiet it is. Some generators whine like a dentist drill, but this one hums at a low level. I've used it indoors while watching TV, and I didn't even notice the noise. The planetary gear set inside keeps the cranking force low, so my wrist doesn't get sore as quickly as it does with cheaper models. I've tried other hand-crank generators before, and they can be really loud and uncomfortable to use. This one is a breeze to use, even for extended periods. I also like that it's small enough to toss in a glove box or backpack. It weighs less than a pound, so it's not going to weigh you down on a hike. The output cable is long enough to reach from a table to a power bank without straining, and the connector is a standard USB-A, so no weird adapters are needed. I've taken it on a few camping trips, and it's been a lifesaver. I've used it to charge my phone, power a small lantern, and even charge my portable speaker. It's amazing how much of a difference it can make when you're out in the wilderness. Another real-world test: I used it to power a small camping lantern for about 20 minutes straight. The lantern draws around 1 watt, and after a couple of minutes of steady cranking, the light stayed bright the whole time. That's useful if you're trying to keep a campsite lit without draining your main battery pack. I've also used it to charge my phone during a power outage, and it worked like a charm. It's not going to replace a gas-powered generator, but it's a great alternative for small devices and emergencies. The kit even comes with banana plugs, so you can wire it directly to a small battery if you're feeling adventurous. I hooked it up to a 12-volt lead-acid battery I had lying around and managed to trickle charge it for a few hours. That's a nice bonus if you're into DIY power setups. I've also used it to charge my power bank, which I can then use to charge my other devices. It's a great way to keep your devices charged when you're off the grid. Now, it's not perfect. The plastic crank feels a little light, so if you crank aggressively, you might bend it over time. Also, the instructions are basically non-existent, just a single sheet with a diagram. You'll figure it out, but don't expect a manual. Overall, this is a solid little hand generator for the price. It won't replace a solar panel or a big inverter, but for emergencies, camping, or just keeping devices topped off, it's a practical tool that actually works. I've been impressed by its performance, and I think it's a great addition to any emergency kit or camping setup. If you're looking for a no-frills way to generate a few watts on demand, this kit is worth a look. Check it out using the link below.